Okay. Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. We're continuing with the hadith from Imam Muslim's collection. We're still in the first book, Kitab Iman. We're speaking about the book of faith, different hadiths that relate to our belief. And also, as you can see, guys, by studying the hadiths and learning the hadiths, you are also learning the history of Islam. You are learning how Islam began, how it spread. You are learning about the companions. You're learning about how to better yourself. The hadiths are the key to everything. You learning the Quran, you are learning how to understand the Quran because you're learning why Allah sent verses down, what the meaning is behind those verses, what happened to make Allah do it. The hadiths are everything. And today we're going to speak about the chapter of the next chapter from the book of faith that addresses how faith consists of different branches. Hadiths addressing how faith consists of different branches. Okay? One of the branches of faith is modesty. And everybody is familiar with these hadiths. It is narrated by Abu Huraira that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, faith has over 70 branches. Modesty is one of them. In other words, there are over 70. That means more than 70. There are more than 70 branches of faith. Modesty is one of them. Also, in another hadith, the Prophet said faith has over 70 branches or over 60 branches. The best of them is to declare that there is no God but Allah. And the humblest branch of faith is to pick up something from the street that could injure someone. And also being modest or being shy is a branch of faith. So here we can see from these hadiths, you can tell if a person truly believes in Allah by looking at their behavior. Remember, guys, our behavior is everything. To simply say that we believe in Allah is not enough. If you do, it's going to show through your actions. If you're a person who is modest, then that's a sign that you have some belief of Allah in you. If you care about someone tripping and falling down, hurting themselves on the road, then that's a sign that you believe in Allah. And a lot of people look at qualities such as modesty or shyness as being bad. For example, how many of you here, when you go to work, a lot of you sisters have to work around non-Muslims. You go to work dressed in your jilbab, your hijab, and the kafirs tell you, oh my God, this is bad. You're going to burn up. You're going to fall out from heat stroke. This is how we dress in the desert. Everybody knows the more clothing you have on, the cooler you are. If I don't fall out in the desert in my hijab and my jilbab, what the heck makes you think I'm going to fall out at 70 degrees here in America? They want to turn something good into something bad because I believe in covering my body or also being shy. A shyness is a good thing. A shy woman is a woman that would think twice before she takes her clothes off to show herself to men. And that's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was one day walking past two men who were arguing. One man was telling his brother, "You're too shy. You have to stop being so shy." And that's when the Prophet said, shyness. Don't be so harsh with your brother. Shyness is a form of faith. Because there are some people who have no shyness. They could care less. They'll take off their clothes. They'll get up in another person's face. They have no shyness, no modesty. So again, guys, you can determine your belief in Allah simply by looking at your behavior, looking at your actions. Listen to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. He said, modesty brings forth nothing but goodness. I want you guys to pay attention to this hadith, because we just had an example of that today. It's narrated on the authority of one of the companions. His name was Imran. Imran was sitting with the people, and he said, modesty brings nothing but goodness. And one person stood up. His name was Bushehr. He said, wait a minute. Modesty brings calmness of mind. Also, modesty can be a sign of weakness. Imran became angry. He said, wait a minute. I'm telling you what the Prophet said, and you want to tell me what you read in some book somewhere? You see this, Ghazala? This is just what we just was talking about. Okay, you see, the companions were so much like us because we're human. You know, this brother is trying to explain to the people what the Prophet said about modesty. And another brother says, well, I read in a book that you can be too modest to the point of being weak. And the companion said, look, dude, I'm telling you what the Prophet Muhammad said. I could care less what anybody else says. When the Prophet said something, that's it. Don't contradict me by telling me what some book says or what somebody else. And that's the same thing I want to stress to all of you here. In this class, this is a hadith class. When we're going over the hadiths of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, don't tell me what Imam Shafi said. Don't tell me what Imam Ahmed said. Don't tell me what nobody else said, because who cares what they say? If it's something that's contradicting what the Prophet said, who cares? Even Imam Shafi, if he were alive today, even he said, if you ever find something that I have told you that contradicts the Prophet, disregard what I say, because I'm nothing. I'm just a peasant here, just like the rest of us. Okay, so again, guys, so here we can see, when it comes to faith, we can look at our behavior. Your behavior will be a reflection of whether or not you truly believe in Allah. An example is modesty. A lot of people think modesty is something bad when it's not. And again, there's many, many other branches of faith, not just modesty. For example, Abdullah ibn Amir, he tells us that a man asked the Prophet, which of the merits are superior in Islam? Or what qualities are superior in Islam? The Prophet told him a quality or an action that is superior in Islam is to give food to those who are in need, and to greet people whom you know and people whom you don't know. Again, behavior. Good behavior, guys, is a branch of faith. If I provide food to people who don't have it, this is a sign that I believe in Allah. If I give the greeting of hello to people who I don't even know, a kind smile. These are all examples of faith, of belief in Allah. Because remember, guys, Allah is good. Allah is good. And He likes everything that is good. Good behavior, good actions, good deeds are forms of faith. Okay. Also, in another hadith, another companion, Amir ibn al-As, he tells us that a person asked the Prophet, who is the best of all the Muslims? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the one whose tongue and hand other Muslims are safe from. Subhanallah. Look at this. Again, behavior. Your behavior, your actions determine how much you truly believe in Allah. If you're going around hurting other people, hurting other Muslims with your tongue because you're gossiping, you're backbiting, you're lying on them, you're trying to tear their reputation, then you're not a good Muslim. Or if the people are afraid to come around you because you might hurt them physically, you're not a good Muslim. The best Muslim is one who others feel safe around. You see that? So many branches of faith. If you truly believe in Allah, it's going to show in your actions. Just simply saying that you believe is not enough. Now you guys understand the meaning of that hadith that we had on the quiz. The Prophet said, anyone who dies professing La ilaha illallah fully well will enter paradise. Does that mean that all Muslims, just saying that I'm a Muslim means I'm going to go to paradise? No. Saying that you believe in Allah is not enough. What did you do? How were your actions? Did you go around hurting people with your tongue? Were you stingy and selfish and didn't help people who were in need? Were you so flamboyant that you didn't care about stripping around other people? You had no modesty, no shame. No. Did you go around denying the obligations of Allah? You didn't pray because you didn't think praying was something you should have had to ever do. That stuff can take you to the hellfire. Only those who truly believe in Allah, who live their lives doing the deeds that are pleasing to Allah, earning Allah's love, these are the ones who will be saved. Okay? So as you guys can see, there's so many different branches of faith. And not only is behavior, not only does your behavior help determine if you're going to end up in paradise, but also your character. It's all about good character. That's why I'm always emphasizing in my teachings good character, because good character is a form of faith. Look at this hadith. Anas tells us that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said there are 3 qualities that if any one of you have them, you will taste the sweetness of faith. And those qualities are that number 1, you love others for the sake of Allah. Number 2, Allah and His Prophet are more beloved to you than anyone or anything else. And number 3, you hate even the idea of not being a Muslim. Subhanallah. You have to have all 3. If you have all 3 of these qualities, all 3 of these characteristics, then you can honestly say you are a person who truly, fully believes La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How many of us love for the sake of Allah? If you truly love for the sake of Allah, what does that mean? That means you should be able to look at other people and see the good in them. Overlook the things that you don't like. Put your jealousy to the side and see the good in that person that Allah likes. That's loving for the sake of Allah. And also, we all say that we love the Prophet more than anything, but not if you're going to tell me what Imam Shafi said. Not if you going to tell me what Mufti so and so said, when I'm telling you what the Prophet said. We all say we love Allah, but not when you're going to deny prayer. You say you love Allah more than yourself and anything, but you're going to say that you don't have to pray, that you don't have to wear hijab. Hijab is outdated. No, you have to truly love Allah and His Prophet more than anyone and anything, including your children. And again, we all claim that we're happy to be Muslim. Let's look at your Facebook pages. How many of you have pictures of yourselves on Facebook without a hijab on, with a caption that reads, "Back in the day, these were the good old days. This is me back in the day"? No, that means that you still have a longing for the Jahiliyyah in you. You're still longing to be what you were before Islam. Because if you were not, then you would throw every picture of you without a hijab away. You wouldn't even have it posted for anyone to see. Because you know it's something that Allah does not like. Allah is good. Allah is clean. He hates all that is evil and dirty. So again, good character. Good character is a form of faith. And again, we have to understand, just like we're obligated to wear hijab, we're obligated to pray the 5 prayers every day, we're obligated to pay the zakat, to love the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam more than yourself and your family is an obligation too. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "No person believes unless I am dearer to him than the members of his family and his money and all mankind." Again, you claiming to love the Prophet, and why you putting your children above him? Why you putting your money above him? Or yourself above him? You don't want to obey the Prophet because you afraid of how it's going to make you look. Also, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "None of you is a true believer until I am more dearer to you than your children, your father, and everyone else." So again, faith. Faith entails loving the Prophet more than we do ourselves and our families. We say we do, but do we really? And also that hadith, learning to look and see the good in others, it goes hand in hand, guys, with wanting for your brother what you would want for yourself. Do you want other people to look at you and ignore the good things about you and only see the bad? We have to learn to want for our brothers in faith what we want for ourselves. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Not one of you will come a true believer. Not one of you will become a true believer until you like for your brother or your neighbor what you like for yourself." Would you want somebody to talk about you in a bad way? Then why are you talking about him in that way? Would you want someone to break in your house? Then why are you breaking in his house? Also in another hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "By Allah in whose hand is my soul, no person will truly believe until he likes for his neighbor or for his brother whatever he likes for himself." So again, true faith is through our actions. True faith is through our behaviors. True faith is through our character. Do you want for others what you want for yourself? You wouldn't find it so hard to help that sister over there if you're thinking about yourself. Put yourself in her shoes. What if it were you who were in need? What if it were you? Also, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "The person will not enter paradise whose neighbor is not safe from his bad actions." You want to peek in my house, steal from me, go in my garage and take my things, go and dirt and mess up my car because you're angry at me. You want to play your music loud when you know I work third shift and I'm sleeping. You know I don't eat pork, so you want to cook pork just to make me smell it. These people will not enter paradise. Your neighbor, your neighbors have rights over you guys. And by the way, it doesn't matter if that neighbor is a Muslim or not. Even if your neighbors are non-Muslim, they have rights over you. You have to be kind and good to all of Allah's creation, animals included. Listen to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. He said, "He who believes in Allah and the last day should either say good things or keep quiet. And he who believes in Allah and the last day should treat his neighbor with kindness. And he who believes in Allah on the last day should show hospitality to his guests." So not only do your neighbors have a right on you, but your guests have a right on you too. When people come to visit you, you provide them with water, provide them with food if you have it. Be kind and good to people, guys. Also, a real big problem. We always hurt each other with our tongue. If you don't have anything good to say about anything, then just shut up. So many of us, we need to learn to keep our mouths shut. But we have a problem with this because we want to be seen. We want to stand out. Just shut up. If you don't like the dress that your neighbor has on, shut up. You don't like the way he looks, shut up. You don't like the type of car he has, shut up. Don't say anything bad. Also, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "He who believes in Allah on the last day does not go around harming his neighbor, and he shows hospitality to his guests, and he speaks good, and if he has nothing good to say, he remains quiet." Again, good advice for us. We say we believe in Allah. That hadith about believing in Allah guarantees you paradise. It doesn't come easy. If you truly believe in Allah, guys, you would do these things. You would be kind to others. You'd be good to your neighbor. You wouldn't go around saying bad things, hurting people with your tongue. It's hard to be a believer. It's hard to be a true believer, and very few of us taste the sweetness of faith as a result. So what do we learn from these beautiful hadiths today? Well, we learn, number one, good manners and good character are forms of faith. We also learn that some characteristics that others view as weak are strong with the law, such as modesty and shyness. We also learn that being good to others, whether they're Muslim or not, is a form of faith. To not go around harming or oppressing others is a form of faith. And our neighbors and the guests that come to visit us, they have rights over us. And how we treat them shows how much faith we truly have. We also learn to treat others the way we want to be treated. And if you truly love Allah, you will look to see the good in other people, instead of focusing on the things that you don't like about a person. You will overlook those things and see the things that Allah loves about that person. This is how we strengthen our Iman. This is how we become true believing Muslims that enter paradise. On that note, we'll stop right here for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you a quiz over these hadiths. And again, for those of you who may be listening later, please join the class at 6 p.m. Eastern on time so you can partake in the quiz. You're not going to understand the meaning of these hadiths unless I quiz you on it. Just like Jibril would come and quiz the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to see how he answered, I need to quiz you. Plus, you can ask me questions live here, and I can help you to better understand with my answers. So please try to be here. And also, guys, remember, we are desperately in need of donations. Please donate today to keep this dour effort going. Go to sunnafollowers.net/donate.php and send $100 donation, a $200 donation to try to keep us on this internet. It takes $1,500 a month to pay for our expenses. Okay? So we'll stop right here. If you guys have any questions or comments, type them on the screen. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa